What's up, people? This is the Oracle. We are back online for a new Vintage Cube draft video. Yesterday I just hit 400 subscribers, which is quite awesome. It's nice to see that some people are interested in what I'm doing there. So thank you. And yeah, I guess without further ado, let's jump into this draft. So I'm pretty sure the most powerful card here is Mind Twist. Very, very strong card. I'm probably just gonna pick that. The two signets are fine. Pestermite, I guess, is an option if you want to go into the Kiki Jiki Splinter Twin combo deck, but I'd rather pick, pick either Kiki Jiki or Splinter Twin before I start picking, Pestermite. Pestermite is very exarch, Angel, or I don't know, Zealous Conscript, I guess is the last one you can use with. So this is decent, but I think Mind Twist is just better. Yeah, I think overall that's a pretty easy Mind Twist. Just feels like the best card in the pack. Mind Twist works kind of well with ramp, so I could just go maybe black-green ramp of some sort. Could pick elves. Hypnotic Spectre is fine, but not that great. There's a lot of removal in cube, so it's pretty hard to get a hit with that. Copter is fine, but I don't really think it's gonna be a better option than elves right now. Anticipate and Trinket Mage could be decent. Overall, I think this is a very low-powered pack. It would be probably fine in Legacy Cube, but in Vintage Cube it really feels underpowered, so yeah, not so great. I guess I'll pick elves. Again, mana is good with Mind Twist, and it produces black, which I guess is even better for the Mind Twist. And there's just not much else, so yeah, we'll just do that. Alright, that is better. Best card here I think is Demonic Tutor. And we are pretty likely going to be black, and we do have a pretty strong target, so probably just going to pick that. Tractask or Tribalder would be fine, but I think this is just better. Underground Sea is an option, because we don't have to be green. But yeah, I think it's pretty clear-cut Demonic Tutor here. I don't see any reason to pick anything else. And now there's a force pick library for some reason. There's not a ton of cards you would first pick out of that in Cube, so it's kind of weird. Like maybe Sol Ring, Black Gladius, Moxies, but it means that there were 3 Moxies or some very good pack in this very good card in this pack. So well, I'll pick it, but really surprised to see that going this late. Caryatid would probably be fine. Temple of Malady 2 if we end up black-green, but yeah, this is just much better. I do like Reclamation Sage a decent amount in Vintage Cube. That's the card I'm happy to main deck. Toxic Deluge is another option. I could pick Deluge and maybe just not go too deep into green and just maybe leave myself open to maybe play blue-black or something else. Wooded Foothills could be fixing if I get a Bayou or Verdant Catacomb. Other than that, there's not a ton I'm interested in playing, I don't think so. I guess there's Thieving Song. If you cut the elf, this could be the start of a storm deck, but nah, I think I'd rather just pick Rex Sage or Deluge. Deluge lets me stay a little bit more open, which, is valuable. I think I'll go with Deluge just because I can be a little bit more open, and I don't know that green will be open. Okay, well, I think Exhume is one of the best cards here, so we might just go some type of black Reanimator deck. Demonic Tutor is pretty good in Reanimator. Mind Twist is fine in any black deck, so why not? Probably not at its best in Reanimator, but you can still use that and make sure they don't have anything, available to counter or kill whatever you might want to reanimate. That being said, Mind Twist into Exhume is not the best combo because each player gets to reanimate something. But either way, both cards are quite strong on their own, and I don't think, even if they do not synergize super well, I don't think it's really an issue. And there's just not much else. I mean, I'm not really interested in white or red Planeswalker or anything else here. There's Entomb, which is great. So yeah, Reanimator might be open. This is what, 6 picks Exhume into 7 pick Entomb. Yeah, that's pretty good news for us. If we are playing Reanimator, it's not super likely that we are green, but there's a chance because there's a pretty solid black-green Reanimator deck where you play Survival of the Fittest, maybe Fauna Shaman, and if you have a bunch of cheap mana elves, Recurring Nightmare becomes very good, so that could be an option. But right now, I think I'm mostly gonna be black Reanimator and maybe blue because blue has several looting effect and some pretty good cards for Reanimator. But yeah, I guess we'll see. In this pack, I do like both Dark Petition and Dismember. Dark Petition is a little bit better for assembling a combo. And we have a fair amount of instant and sorceries so far. So I could see that being good. Dismember is removal, I guess. I think Dark Petition might just be better. Do like that card a fair amount. Thoughts is Wield, which is amazing. That card is great in Reanimator because you can just make sure they have nothing to, to deal with your whatever you want to reanimate, or you can target yourself if you want to discard something in your hand to Exhume on turn 2, for example. So that's pretty nice. Very good start for Reanimator here. We have a bunch of very good black cards for that deck, which is nice. And 2 Tutor Effect, which is gonna make that deck quite consistent, hopefully. I don't think there's anything I want to play here. Reflector Mage is pretty good against Reanimator because if you buzzer, spending a couple cards reanimating something and then they put it back in your hand, it's pretty bad. Caracas is also pretty good against Reanimator though. I think Caracas is actually more frightening than Mage, so I'm just gonna cut that. Necrotal is decent. At worst, it's gonna be a good sideboard option. Bitter Blossom, I'm not a huge fan of that in Reanimator. I think it's more likely that I end up in some type of black-green Reanimator deck where Caryatid is gonna be good. But Bitter Blossom, I'm not really a huge fan of that card unless I'm playing Skull Clamp or something like that. Don't really want to play against the wave with Reanimator. Pissing Needle is good sideboard option. Alright, so we are black, we are trying to reanimate stuff, and we could be green. This is all I know right now. And we have a Necrotal in the side, which, is good. Okay, pretty solid pack here. Grim Tutor is decent. There's a Time Walk, but this would put us into blue, and Time Walk is good, don't get me wrong, but I don't think it's good enough where I'm gonna pick that, I'm gonna go blue just to play with that. If it was Ancestral Recall, I would just slam that without thinking much more, but Time Walk is not that's crazy. Like, maybe you can reanimate something, Time Walk, and get to hit with whatever you reanimate, but I don't think that card is super good. I'm super happy to pick it when I'm blue, especially when I have a couple Planeswalker, but I don't think it's a good enough reason to go blue right now. There's an off-color Mox, which is always fine. But I wonder if Grim Tutor is just not a better option. We could will Tomb maybe if we still end up in black-green. I don't know. Maybe it's just Mox. It's kinda close. I guess I'll pick Mox, but I don't know if it's right or not. Unfortunately, you cannot reanimate Blightsteel Colossus because it pretty much never hits the graveyard. Through the Breach is an option. You can play, black-red. In red, you have you also have the better Careful Study. I don't remember the name. Faceless Looting, which is kind of good. But there's a regular Careful Study here, which is quite good in Reanimator. That being said, I think we should just pick Imperial Seal, which is another tutor effect, which is good, and we can stay mono black, and then, if this wheels, I might go blue, if this wheels, I might go red, who knows. Well, I guess we'll see. But I really don't mind being mono black for now. I do like Mannequin a fair amount. Being able to reanimate at instant speed is sometimes pretty good. And if you reanimate something like Inkwell Leviathan or a creature with a strong enter the battlefield effect, you don't really care that, it can, if it gets targeted, it dies most of the time. So it's a pretty solid spell. I do like that a fair amount. And there's not much else for me either way, so we'll just pick that. Ooh, Buried Alive. Mesmeric Fin is also pretty good, but I think this should probably this should not, but this will probably be better. Badlands could be an option again if we go black red, sorry. But Buried Alive is pretty good here. So now we mostly need some big things to reanimate, but we have some solid options to put stuff into the graveyard and or reanimate, and to some tutors to make the deck consistent. I think here I'll pick Luthoril Core, which is good in Reanimator. If we end up blue, it's gonna be good, so just put that in my side in case we do end up blue. I do like Shrikmo of Fairmount in Reanimator because you can use it early on as a cheap removal, and then if you have nothing better to do, you can just reanimate it and kill something again later on. It's one of my favorite removal spells to have around in a Reanimator deck. It's not like crazy good, but it's one of my favorite thing to use as a removal in Reanimator, and there's just not much else, so I guess we'll pick that. Damnation's not that great in Reanimator because you are trying to have better creatures than your opponent, so you don't really want that. I think the two options here are either Polluted Delta, because it's going to be great if I end up blue-black, or Sphinx of the Steelwind, which is fine reanimation target. Very good against some deck, a little bit less strong against other deck, but since I have nothing to reanimate right now, I might have to pick the Sphinx, honestly, even though I kind of like the idea of picking some fixing. I think we kind of need to start picking some big creatures to reanimate, even if they are not so strong. I'm not a huge fan of Massacre Worm. If I'm playing against an aggressive deck, I'd rather just reanimate Sphinx, probably. So I think I'll just pick this figure, which I will probably not main deck, but is a very nice sideboard option. I guess I'll pick... Oh, there's Iona, never mind. I will definitely pick that. And maybe I should have... I don't really know what I picked the first time. I think there was a pretty good card, but I did not even remember that there was Iona. But it's definitely one of the best ones to reanimate, so that's cool. Hero's Downfall or Creeping Tar Pit. I think I'll pick Tar Pit. Again, I think I'm rather likely to end up in blue-black in the end. Okay, I guess Nighthawk against the Garo deck. And we did not wield the Careful Study, I think. Yeah, that's kind of weird. Okay, I guess I'll pick Fiend. I mean, I might end up just playing mono-black, which I'm fine with. You know, if I have enough playables in mono-black, why not? Alright. Yeah. It's weird that the Careful Study did not wheel, because Careful Study is not really amazing in Storm. I think its only home is Reanimator. I don't think this card is very good in any other deck. Here I think we have three options. Mana Crypt, which is strong, just a strong card and quite powerful with Mind Twist. Necromancy, which is a good reanimation spell, but which might wheel, given that I think we are the only one playing that at the table. Or a Miracle, which is a reanimation target, but I think this is less appealing. I think we should either go with Necromancy or Mana Crypt. Mana Crypt is really nice with Mind Twist. Powering up a Buried Alive turn 1 is kinda nice. I think I'll pick the Mana Crypt and hope to wheel Necromancy. If it doesn't wheel, it'd be weird though, because we got a really late Entomb and Exhume pack 1, so it kinda feels like we should be the only one playing this deck at the table. Might be wrong though. Not a huge fan of Dark Ritual, though it's pretty good with Mind Twist. But I think we just want to pick Metamorph, which is a good card in general, and you can just use it to copy one of your fatty as long as it's not legendary. And it's good in general, and especially good when you potentially have some really big creature of your own. Dark Ritual and Go for the Throat would probably be fine, but I think are in general a little bit weaker. Animate Dead, I think, is a pretty clear-cut pick for us there. Yeah. Don't really see any reason to pick anything else. Grave Titan, I think, is kind of nice here because we can hardcast that, especially if we are playing Mana Crypt. But I'm fine with, like, it's not the most threatening thing. Iona might be a little more stronger, but you know, Grave Titan on turn 2 is still very difficult to beat. And even if they get rid of it, you still have the 2 token. So I kind of like that. I would probably main deck Kalidas just because I'm probably going to be mono black, so I can use that just as a good tool against aggressive decks. But Grave Titan is pretty sweet here, I think. Not a huge fan of Corpse Dance at all. You can't really reanimate that unless you have the Makeshift Mannequin, because it shuffles back, so nah, don't love that. Necropotence, I don't really think we want to play. The Abyss is not really good. Yeah, I don't think there's much we like here. Maybe Necropotence, actually, because I'll be mono black. I don't know. At least it's a good tool against control deck, but I'm not sure that it's gonna be great. I don't really like Corpse Dance a ton. Yeah. Weird. Ooh, Glen Elendra Archmage. That card is very, very powerful. That would be another good reason to play a little of blue, but at this point, well, I have a Creeping Tar Pit, but not a ton of fixing. And I guess I have Luthoril Core, which is pretty good, but you know, that's about it. And staying mono black is kind of appealing, I think. But this is a card I cannot really beat, so I don't really want don't really want to play against it. I don't really love Shallow Grave with what I have. I just want reanimation spell that are, you know, that lets the creature on the battlefield. Wasteland could be an option. I might just pick Wasteland because I'm pretty sure I'll go mono black. Ooh, Sheldred is a sweet one to reanimate. Could use Duress probably, but I think this is just a better option. Living Death should be pretty decent. You know, Buried Alive into Living Death is efficient. Yeah, okay, that's decent. And we will the Necromancy, which is quite good. Nothing I will play here. I guess Maelstrom Pulse deals with my reanimated creatures potentially, which I'd rather avoid. And I will probably main deck that Necratol, and kind of want to keep Nighthawk and Disfigure in the side just against aggressive deck, but I might have to main deck them just to have enough playballs. I don't really like CDC a ton in this deck. There's nothing I want to sacrifice, really, so I think I'll just cut Declaration in Stone, which is a good answer to my reanimated creatures. I could see Lightning Greaves being decent. I'm not a huge fan of that card, but since I don't have a ton of playball, why not? Why not? But it's certainly not my favorite. Okay, so Mono Black Reanimator. Interesting. I've often played Blue Black Reanimator, but Mono Black I think is the first time I play. We'll see if it's good. We have a fair amount of good tutors, a little bit of removal, some nice reanimation spell. It seems decent. It just seems like we might be lacking ways to discard, because we have Thoughtseize and Tomb and Buried Alive, I guess. Not a ton. That being said, we have 3 tutor FX, so hopefully we can get there. Again, I don't really love Shallow Grave. I think I have enough reanimation spells and they are all better than Shallow Grave, so I will cut that. And actually, I don't really want to play 17 lands with that deck because the curve is rather low. I count these as land, by the way. I guess I might just play this Night Oak. Why not? Why not? Why not? Yeah. And then we can add 12 lands, 12 swamps, and it's gonna be, yeah, it's gonna be 16 lands. And Yeah, I mean, I guess I have 2 5 drops I want to cast. I could play 17 lands, but I don't want to. This deck could easily flood out, so I kind of want to avoid that if possible. And nope, no thank you. I will pass on trying to hardcast Links of the Steel Wind, or Iona for that matter. But yeah, that's it. Mono Black Reanimator for you. Yeah, I don't know how good it will be. Again, I'm mostly used to play Blue Black Reanimator, but this could be good too, I guess. And I think we have a fairly good consistency because of the 3 tutor effects and the number of reanimation spells we have, so should be decent. And this deck can have some really busted draw, like simply Entomb into Exhume or Animate Dead is pretty much unbeatable most of the time. Then you can also, I don't know, Mana Crypt, Buried Alive into any of your reanimation spell. Yeah, a lot of powerful draws, I think. So it should be interesting. Funny thing, no, I don't think this will. Yeah, no. I was thinking about something that will probably never happen. But I was thinking if I have to reanimate Aina on turn 1, but I'm not even sure I can reanimate stuff on turn 1. I don't think so, actually. No, I can't, so there's no question here. But the question is, if I have to reanimate Iona when I don't really already know what my opponent's playing, what color should I name? But if I ever reanimate her, it's gonna be on turn 2, so I will probably have a little bit of information anyway. But yeah, whatever. That's the deck. Hope you guys enjoyed. If it's the case, feel free to drop a like. You can also subscribe to the channel, obviously. And yeah, thank you for watching, and see you for round 1.